Hey guys, Edelio here with another video. This one's a little bit different than the community spotlights and videos that I've been posting already, but it is the first episode in a series that I've been working on for a while, focusing on locally owned businesses here in Central Florida. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I hope that you take some value and some lessons from some of the stories that you're going to see. Comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and if you want to see more of this type of content. But without further ado, here's the first episode.
We moved here in 2017 and built this home, and we bought the land in 2011 when the market kind of dumped, and then we paid the land off and was like, let's build a house. So we had 13 acres out here, and it's a lot of land. So when we moved in, we had no plans of doing any type of farming, but when we were here, we had adopted 2 children from Ethiopia, and it ended up being a little bit more difficult than we had ever imagined it could be. So I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I was like, we have to pull together. This has to be a team. Like, we had to kind of deconstruct a home that, existed, and then we had to reconstruct a home that was functional with 2 new people in it that were, wired differently than we were and saw the world differently. So we decided to start, after a lot of journeying and thought, was like, why don't we start a farm? And I was like, well, what about flower farming? We thought about growing food, but I was definitely more interested in, I love nature and flowers, I always have. So I was like, let's just start a flower farm. And it was just an idea, but then it kind of took, and we're like, we can be a team, let's call it Farm 9. There's 9 of us. So we started a farm. These are our chickens. This is where the Farm 9 eggs come from. See if they've laid any today. Hey guys. Yeah, we got some in here. They're little because these little guys are new, but we have one of their green eggs. So our eggs are blue, green, and brown and white, and different shades of brown. And they have a lot of area to run, but we also have a run back there that goes into a 40 by 100 foot play area. So there's probably 50 chickens in here, and they have more area than they need, that's for sure. Buddy. We also try to plant like beneficial natives here. So we try to stock up our yard with stuff that grows in Florida. So it's important to us to keep the bees and the birds and other animals that are wild fed and cared for. There's not a lot of information on flower farmers and growing in Florida in general. So I think that piece of it alone, I really started with the love of the flower. And our business really started with that organic, field-grown, wildflower picked feel. A lot of information and knowledge just about the flowers a lot of time was put into learning that. And I think it's just a very different learning path and a learning curve than going straight in from, I want to be a florist, to I'm buying flowers. So I really started from the dirt and learned how flowers grew, how to grow them here, how long they like to be out of water. I mean, just a lot of things that I had to experiment with and figure out, because we had to cut them, put them in water, get them, transported. What did that look like? And then how to actually take only things you're making out of the earth and make something beautiful with it. So that's also a different learning curve. I didn't have coolers full of flowers to go and pick. So I would have to go, oh my gosh, this is beautiful, I want to use this. Oh, this is neat. Oh, this was growing on the side of the road. I would find things on the side of the road that I'm like, this is amazing. And honestly, they are amazing. A lot of things that grow on the sides of the road here are beautiful. So it was kind of putting together the whole picture for me. And I think that's what set us into a different path as far as like what we found beauty in. Now, I find beauty in all the flowers, but I think our farmy, homegrown, natural, earth-bent look is a little bit due to the fact that I started as a farmer instead of as a florist. So this is our everything gets in the ground time. We've started our seedlings or bought plugs, and now things are kind of resting in the winter time. We're starting to see some blooms come from roses, anemones, ranunculus, but everything else is, and the tulips are starting to pop up, but everything else is laying low for now, but will flower in about a month and a half, 2 months. We have our rose patch here, we have dahlias, we have a huge, we sell a lot of snapdragons. And then in the hoop house there, we have ranunculus and anemones, butterfly ranunculus and regular ranunculus and then anemones. And that's our first crop to start popping out. So that's where most everything will come through. And then right around the same time, we'll have all these snapdragons come through, and those will all be sold and brought to the market, as well as all the other flowers. Most of these are filler flowers that we'll put in our mason jars or make larges and smalls with them or use them in weddings. So this is our little, not so little, a lot of work, 1/3 of an acre. It seems like it's not much, but it's a lot to maintain, so. I got a lot of information from amazing growers around the United States off Google, but they were all up north, so I've had to learn a lot of stuff growing in the south. It's just different when you don't have a freeze. I think it was now maybe 5 years ago that we had things growing out there, and we initially went straight into, I'm gonna grow, only local, sell at the farmer's market. So we did get into the Winter Gardens farmer's market, and that was a blast, and it was amazing, and we still have things we were growing at day one. The only problem about flowers is that they are seasonal, and most farmers choose crops to grow. Like, I'm gonna grow this flower and this flower, but you can't grow everything. And really our market bouquets were more of a mixture of sunflowers and grasses and things that we grew on the land. Then the farmer's market was like, I was like, I have to go, I don't have flowers. Like, they're seasonal. And we just kept hearing, we really want you there, we really want you there. So we sat down with several people just and tried to figure out, is this what we want to do? Because once we go into wholesaling or finding other growers, we're no longer growing all the flowers. And that was important to me. But I definitely was like, I think I'd rather have a story and be able to, influence more people than I would then to make a claim that I'm locally sustainable growing. We still do that, but my audience would have been limited to no weddings, no events. So I decided that we would wholesale out so we could be open all the time. So now our flowers are a mixture of wholesaling in. We always want to find local growers. There's not a ton, and they normally are limited on what they grow at that season. So our fun, fresh market bouquets are very diverse. They have lots of different things in them. And so we really do our best to use local mixed with what we get in from the wholesalers, and then use creativity to design the flowers. Oh, my cows are this way. We'll go say hi to them. They're over here. Here we go. These guys are starting to pop. These are our anemones. If you wanted to, those are the first things that'll come out. Oh, and our poppies are starting to come out too. That's funny. Puppies. Hey guys, we came to see you. Yeah, we came to see you. So most of these animals are named. These two are male goats. They stink. I would not touch them. And then there's Ernie and Trump, which are donkeys. And this is a bull, but we cut his nuts off. So it's a steer. So he won't let you touch him. But this is Butter. This is our milking cow. She's the sweetest little thing ever. So yeah. Hey, Butter. Hi. You having a good day? My kids would read books on her. Like, she's precious. She doesn't have a mean bone in her. She weighs a lot, so she could definitely step on your toe, but that's about it. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's Ernie. He's the best. Ernie is the first pet we got out here. Are you the sweetest? Are you the sweetest little guy? Yeah, you are. Oh, you like the camera? He's like, I've done this before. And this is Trump. He's not quite as sweet, but we love him. Yeah. See, I'm not quite as lovey-dovey. Ernie gives hugs, don't you, buddy? And then, so besides we have a lot of other goats. So the females are all in here, and the ones that get pregnant, and it hasn't stopped them from getting pregnant. We try to keep them apart, but it's impossible to keep a male goat away from a female. So these are the girls, and a lot of them are pregnant in here. And then we have one sheep who's peeing. That's Rosie. One of our friends asked us to bottle feed her when we first moved in. So she was in a diaper in the house for a while. Yeah, and then once she got too big to be wearing a diaper in the house, we brought her out here with the goats. So that's Rosie. You good, buddies? Yeah? So we have an onslaught of these guys, and they just keep making babies and making babies and making babies. So. And then our pigs are out in the field somewhere. Oh, there's some of them. We have Kune pigs. They're super cute. Kunis are they don't get as large as regular pigs. They're in the 300-400 pound range. But you'll see by the way they look. They're kind of hairy looking. They're more for like charcuterie, like if people were to eat them. We don't eat our animals, so. Hey guys. Hi. Hi. Yeah. What you guys doing? You see, they're kind of hairy, and they look different, but they get big. But some of these are still young. I think this is oh no, this isn't the nice one. Are you gonna let me pet you? Oh yeah, this is my nice girl. This is my first one. Oh, be quiet. She's a sweet girl. So she's had all these babies out here. You want me to rub your tummy? Oh, there you go. There you go, buddy. Yeah. 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 So this was our first Kune, and she's sweet. I mean, she's precious. She wouldn't hurt a soul, would you, buddy? No. And she's a good mom, too. Yeah. So this is our bees. We get about 60 pounds probably a year. And I have a beekeeper that helps me because it's hard. But these are the bee hives. We have 7 right now. We started with, I think 3, and we just keep splitting them and growing them. So our goal is 10. We have 3 more that we want to make, and then I think I'll stop there because it's a lot of work to take care of them and harvest. It's more work than someone would imagine. It really is. You know why? Because we just see things on shelves in supermarkets. We don't have any idea what's going on behind it. And I feel bad for farmers in general because they have to produce in such large quantities because we're over consumers, that you have to go to practices that are weird or hard or not good for the animals or the insects or whatever you're doing. During the summer, if it's nice and warm out, all the worker bees will go out and work. So then the hive is much more calm and you can get near it. They don't really have any, but right now, because of the weather, they're gonna be a little bit mean. Yeah, they're all females in there. I mean, there's a few drones, don't get me wrong, but all the worker bees are females. So they take you out. They communicate in crazy ways. They have actually scouters that communicate. They're scouting bees, and they go out and scout out, and then they send information back to the hive, and the hive follows. It's insane. They're probably the most amazingly complex system that I've ever witnessed in nature, ever. They're insane. The fact of what they do is absolutely mind-blowing, and the fact that they keep the earth alive. It's besides the fact that we need bees to live. They're amazing. So we started here on the farm. We ended up, after the farmer's market started growing and our presence started growing, we started getting weddings and events. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't do weddings and events. We just started learning, and we started putting together bouquets, and they were all for like, I just need a bridal bouquet. I don't need anything else. And so we started there, and we could always add in like a fun touch from the flowers we were growing, which is something we still do. We really like to bring in something from the farm into the bridal bouquets and the bridal party. Even if we can't spread it throughout all the flowers they need through the wedding, we really try to incorporate the farm. But that was almost all farm when we were doing that. So it was fun, and we learned how to do weddings and events from that. And it started slow, and we were in the barn next to the animals, and we could go out into the field and grab stuff we wanted. But we definitely grew out of that and started getting more and more weddings and events, especially after we offered wholesale option, because some people want certain colors. We may not be growing it, and now I could get access to it, and I felt comfortable with it. So now we have transitioned out of the barn into Tubb Street next to Prairie House Coffee Company, and we do weddings and events out of there, as well as pickups and deliveries, and the farmers market still going on. So we have kind of two separate businesses in the sense that we have the farmers market, the shop, pickups and deliveries, and then the weddings and events is really its own animal and does its own thing. But they're all based on this 13 acres, 1/3 of an acre for flower farming. It all started there. We're trying to grow. So I am rebranding this year. So we're really pulling the farm and what we grow, not in a sense that they won't connect, but we're really pulling the two together as two apart for two separate businesses, because it's confusing to people, and that would be the last thing I'd ever want to do, is to confuse people with what we're doing. And the weddings and all that are just a different time in people's lives, and then coming to a farmer's market on a Saturday morning is a day in people's lives. It's just a different business for flowers. They're all revolving around flowers, but they're different. So our biggest thing this year is to really, really, really let the wedding side know what we do for weddings and how that works, and then really push also how we grow things here. We would love every stem that we grow here to sell at the market, and they go there and they are labeled as farm grown. But that's also hard to get across when you're mixing weddings and farm. So we're trying to make sure that all of our tulips sell, all of our snapdragons, everything we grow on the farm this coming now till, May, June, until it starts getting too hot here, sells as farm packets. And then the stuff for the weddings, just keeping that kind of separate. So that's kind of our biggest interest right now, is moving from one business into really, this is all Farm 9 umbrella, but they're two separate, and they both have their own purpose, but they both really do work. But it confuses people maybe a little bit if they're fully cohesive, like on all of our social media and all of the web pages. I think it's a little confusing. So we're rebranding. We are ready, available all the time. So our first avenue of availability is our webpage, and that's farm9.com. And you can go on there and you can do wedding questionnaires. You can see what we grow. You can shop from there. That would be anywhere you'd want to go online, grab a pickup or delivery, or let us know. You can also call the store. Our number's on there on the webpage. You can contact us from Monday through Friday. We're open from 9 to 3. And then on Saturday from 9 to 2. So you can contact us any time of the day also and buy flowers. We're also a walk-in, because we have a shop. So you can walk in. We also have gifts that you can pick up. Hey, I want some flowers, want to bring a gift or a card. We have local artists in there, so that's really fun, of people who draw and make local stuff are in the store to buy. And there's also a coffee shop next door, which is nice to grab a warm coffee right now. So that's the other path of reaching us. And then we're also at the farmers market. So every Saturday, and that's without fail, unless we're called off for rain, we're there from 8 until 1. And all of our flowers are there. It was really for togetherness, and that's kind of what it still has that. I mean, my kids are grown up, but they still are coming back to Farm 9, and they know it as us as a team of people who want to keep fighting for, the things we've decided we believe in and want to hold together and want to hold tight for. And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of energy, but that name and that, our family is Farm 9, and we will fight for that no matter how hard it gets, So it was kind of a piece of our story.
A huge thanks to Nisa for giving us a glimpse into her and her family's journey so far. Being an entrepreneur is by no means an easy thing. It is very challenging, but I fervently believe that it's one of the best things anybody can do. So if you or somebody that you know has something inside of their head that's been rattling around for a while, but they haven't really taken the first steps to kind of chase that, this is exactly what this series is for, is so that you can have an idea of what somebody's journey looks like. Not everybody's journey is going to look the same, but it'll give you a little bit more kind of confidence to know that there is something out there for you to pursue, and it is very fulfilling, and it is one of the best challenges of your life. With that being said, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Leave me in the comments down below what you thought about this, if you have any questions, or if you have any specific businesses that you'd like to know about. I'm always open to that. If you want to reach out to Farm 9, all their contact information is going to be down below in the description. Whether you want to say hi to them at the Winter Gardens Farmers Market, or you want to check out their brick and mortar store in Oakland, super cute, right next to a coffee shop that I love and I take clients to all the time. But with that being said, that's been it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.